Hello, so today's vlog is going to be about how to nail that job interview. So I thought I'd dress appropriately for the occasion. It's not really working, is it? I'll see how long I can keep going looking like this. You get that email saying you've got an interview, come in now. Now the first thing you want to do is reply to that email and say, great, look forward to meeting you. It doesn't sound much, but these little details build up along the way, and they see that you're courteous, responsive and all that sort of stuff. So that's the first thing you want to do. And also feel proud that you got an interview, because in this day and age it's hard to even get to that point. So well done. I'm going to take these off actually. That's better. Right, so now we're going to talk about prep for the interview. Research the company, brand or business that you're going for an interview with. You want to know a bit about their history, how they function, anything that's changed about them in the last few years, perhaps the structure of the company. It's also important to know perhaps who they're affiliated with, whether that's a company, a celebrity, maybe they've got a face of the brand. It's important you know all these details. Perhaps know what events or charities they're involved with, their ethics, anything like that that just shows that you've done a bit of research and you care about the place that you work. It also helps if you feel confident that you know what you're talking about. It will change your demeanour, everything, if you're prepared basically. So just do your research. Quite often these days you're given a project, some homework to do before the interview. So it's the advice I'd give you if you have homework, if you're at college. Don't do what we all do and leave it to the last minute. This will just increase the stress levels, you'll get all panicky and you might rush it and make mistakes. So if you've got some time, you know, take it easy, do it in a measured manner and make sure all the details are correct and it looks good, it's neat and tidy. Yeah. If it's likely you're going to have to do a presentation, which I've had to do before, you might want to practice in front of your housemates or your family or someone that knows how to do presentations. They can tell you whether perhaps you're talking too fast, perhaps you're not giving enough eye contact, perhaps you're fidgeting with your hands, perhaps you're saying something wrong. Either way, it's just good to get some feedback and practice, and you know, you'll get used to speaking out loud and feel a bit more natural about doing it. The night before your interview, there's a few things that you probably want to do. If it's going to be based at a location that you're unfamiliar with, make sure you make yourself familiar. Maybe print off a Google map that you can take with you to ensure that you'll get there on time. Even do a dry run if you've got time. If you're in the car, make sure you've done a trip there and you know how long it takes. Plan alternative routes in case there's a traffic jam or there's a tube strike or something like that, just so you don't have to worry on the day if something goes wrong. Also print your resume, CV out. I've forgotten a few times and just presuming that they'd have one there and they haven't, so make sure you bring one along, make sure it's up to date, and any kind of recommendation letters you have as well is always useful to have. If you're going for a job that you need to show off examples of work, make sure you've got a folder that displays, you know, your various work and showcases your talent best. And more importantly, that it's work that suits the job you're going for. You don't want to be talking about your job, I don't know, as a car mechanic if you're going for a job in banking, for instance, unless you can apply some of the things you learnt there in terms of working with people or communicating with customers in your new job. I know you get nervous the night before and you're probably not going to be able to sleep as well as normal, but try and get an early night. You don't want to go like looking like that and yawning all the way through, so try and get to bed so you've at least got a chance of looking fresh in the morning. Don't drink the night before. You don't want to go stinking of whiskey or beer, you don't want to be burping. You don't want to be hungover, frankly. You want to be, you know, top sharp form so you can answer all the questions that they might dart at you. And also don't have something like garlic or curry the night before, because you don't want to be conscious of your breath and having to talk under your hand like that. Just a little tip there. Right, on the morning of the interview, even though you might have the butterflies in your belly, the nerves rumbling there, have a good breakfast. They always say it's the best start to the day, so make sure you do that. You don't want rumbling, hungry, starving Marvin belly, you know, interrupting your really good speech in the interview. And obviously shower, look clean. You don't want to be smelling of burgers and onions for your prospective new boss. And just maybe while you're getting ready, just look over any notes that you've made just to refresh yourself, make sure they're at the forefront of your mind. Now in terms of your look, you don't want to plaster the makeup on. You want to kind of look as natural as you can, but look nice. So I say natural, you can wear makeup, you can wear a lot of makeup, but just make sure it looks like you're not wearing a lot of makeup. You don't want it to distract, and you want to look professional. Don't wear too much perfume. You don't want them to be overwhelmed by your smell when you come in. Just a light spritz is better, and nothing too, you know, like evening. Your hair out of your face. You don't want to be hiding behind your hair because you're shy or nervous. You want them to be able to see your face, look into your eyes, see your expression. You just look more confident. In terms of what you wear to an interview, this will very much vary depending on the type of job you're going for. If it's a straightforward office job, you want to look smart, you want to look neat, conservative. But if it's a creative job, they probably want to see a bit of your personality, your flair, your style come out in what you wear. So, you know, don't be someone you're not. If you're unsure, maybe see what other people wear that work in that office, or speak to someone you know that has a similar role. And ask them what they wore to their interview and what they wear in the office to give you an idea of what's kind of expected. But if in doubt, probably go more conservative rather than out there. I think it's just the safer option. And wear shoes you can walk in. There's nothing worse than seeing a girl stumbling around or going over on a heel. You want to be able to strut in looking confident and comfortable and not going because of blisters or burning balls. The burning balls of your feet. So once you've made it to your destination, well, you're punctual, hopefully a bit early so you can sit, and you kind of makes it look like you're eager and, you know, excited about being there. Check in at the reception. Now, make sure you're really polite, friendly, as you should be anyway, but to the receptionist and any staff that you might meet on the way, because you never know who's watching, you never know who you might work with in the future, and it's always good to set a good first impression. If you're waiting in the reception room with other candidates, be polite and friendly to them too. I know they're your competitors, but you're all there, you're all nervous, you're all just wanting to get a job, so it's just a nicer environment if you all just smile to each other and, you know, support each other a bit. Right, so the time has come, you've been called in, so stand up, check your skirt or whatever is down, your blouse isn't gaping and showing too much bappage, you know. Put your shoulders down, stand up straight and confidently. Take some deep breaths and walk into the room. Eye contact, smile, and put your hand out and shake confidently. There is nothing worse than a weak handshake like this. You never forget it. And it changes how you feel about a person. You might think someone's really like important or sexy or intelligent, and then they've got this wet lettuce there and you just think, oh God. So when you're sitting there, don't fidget with your hands, play with your hair, touch your eyebrows, touch your face. Just have your hands rested on your knee. Use them to gesture if you're talking about something passionately. As I said, always maintain eye contact because people can trust you and relate to you if you look them in the eye. They will probably ask you what your negative points are. Now, don't say something like, I'm always late, or I'm not very good at maths, or I'm not easy to get on with, or something like that. You don't want a straight up negative. You want to think of something that you can actually put a spin on and make it kind of a positive. For instance, I say, I put a lot of pressure on myself to do well. I always want to do a good job. So that's basically saying that, yeah, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, which is bad for you, but in terms of their business and working for them, it's ultimately a good thing. They often like to give you scenarios and give you maybe a couple options of how you deal with that problem at work or that situation. Now, sometimes it will be one of the options they give you will be the correct answer, but sometimes they're a little bit sneaky and it'll be secret option number 3. And that is one that you can kind of create yourself that you know is actually better than the options they've given you. That will show that you're inventive, you can think outside of the box, and you just know how to work well in a work environment. Now, they'll probably ask you why you would be good for that role over someone else. Now, don't use this as a time to attack the other candidates. You want to just concentrate on your positives. It's not a nice trait to kind of badmouth other people. So just say what you're good at, but do it in a way that isn't arrogant or full of yourself, but it's confident. It's about finding that balance. They'll probably ask you if you've got any questions at the end of your chat, so make sure you've got a list in your head ready. They may have covered some of the questions you had prepared, so don't ask them again, but ask anything that they may have missed out. It's always good to show that you're really interested in finding out more, that you care about the place that you might eventually work. Just so show some intelligence, really. Be warm and friendly with the interviewer, but not to the point where you're over familiar. You don't want to be calling them dude, mate, or saying yeah or totally. Just keep it, proper English if possible, less slang. At the end of the meeting, the sit-down interview, tell them it was lovely to meet them and thanks for having you in, and leave with another firm handshake. On a few of the interviews I've been on, you've had to do presentations or projects with some of the other candidates. Don't see them as your enemy, even though they're your competitors. You can kind of use them to your advantage. You can use them to showcase some of your many talents. Getting on well with the other candidates shows that you're good at teamwork, shows that you're a good people person, and perhaps good at problem solving. If you're going for a role that requires leadership qualities, you can showcase this during your group project by taking that lead role and being happy to put yourself forward and speak out with your opinion. Obviously, always do it nicely. It can be forceful, but there's no need to get really heated and stressed. Okay, you've got through it. Well done. So you're probably going to get an email maybe in a week or so, or sooner, or it might be longer, who knows. But before that, perhaps you can send an email in and say, thank you for meeting with me today. Some people don't like to do this, but it doesn't do any harm, and it's just kind of polite, and it makes sure that you're on their radar and they haven't forgotten you. While they're scanning through the applicants, even before the interview and after, they may well be looking through your social media. I know, terrifying, isn't it? So make sure you've deleted or hidden anything that might put a bad light on you or make you seem unprofessional or someone they wouldn't want to hire. And perhaps you can use it to your advantage. You could put some tweets out that would make you seem attractive to the employer rather, if they're having a snoop session. So just be wise to that. Okay, perhaps you get the email and it says you didn't get the job. Okay, it's really depressing, particularly after all the effort you've put in to do a good interview, good prep and all of that. But make sure you reply positively to that email saying, thank you for letting me know. I understand your decision. It was lovely to meet you, and please do let me know if anything comes up in the future. If you reply in that mature manner, they might think, oh, she might be good for this other role, or we'll keep her in mind should another position open up. If you send kind of a shirty one back, they'll be like, oh, thank God we didn't hire her. So it's always good to just be nice and calm and polite and friendly, whatever the situation. Now, it's very easy to get depressed after the decline It's very easy to get down on yourself if you get the big no, but remember, you can take something away from every experience. Anything that didn't go well, or that you don't think that you performed ideally on that day, you can work on for the next interview. You've met some more people in that industry face to face, which is always a good thing, and who knows whether they might recommend you to someone they know who's also got a similar job going. The more you do, the more relaxed you get, so it's only going to get better, which will hopefully eventually mean you'll get a job at the end of it. And please don't lose heart. It's just a difficult time at the moment for anyone, however qualified you are, however good at what you do. So don't take it personally. And sometimes you just click with someone, that you just gel, and other times you don't. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It's just a bit about chemistry sometimes. And I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So if you didn't get this job, it means there's probably a better one waiting in the future somehow. So somewhere, somehow. So keep the faith, carry on, and wishing you loads of luck on your interviews. If this was a helpful video to you, please give me a thumbs up, and it'd be great if you could subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more advice, tips, honest vlogs soon, so keep watching, and thanks for the support so far.